Hey, it's Laura.
It's Amanda.
And we are Moms on a Mission,
where faith, motherhood, and purpose come together.
We're not just raising children, we're raising disciples, striving to make an eternal impact in our homes and beyond.
Here, we choose grace over guilt, progress over perfection, and God's truth over the world's noise.
Together, we'll encourage, uplift, and equip one another to walk boldly in our calling as mothers on a mission.
So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's dive into this journey of faith-filled motherhood. One step, one prayer, and one mission at a time. Welcome back to Moms on a Mission. This is episode 30.
30.
The dirty 30.
Which means that if we sat here for a month straight and recorded an episode every day, we've done this for a month.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's so wild.
Yep, that is pretty awesome. We're growing slowly. We have people that talk to us about the show sometimes. It is such a cool thing.
Yep, I told you. I think it was earlier in the baseball season. Coming in or out of a dugout. You know, one of the moms from the other team. She was like, "I love the podcast." And I was like, "Great, thanks. I appreciate that." You know, and at church we hear it, and just we knew it would take a little bit of time.
Yes,
but I think we're well on our way.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Well, so today we know we've had some heavy subjects. We've been unpacking some stuff politically, religiously. We've been talking about things, going on with kids and family, heavy parts of discussions and all that. And so today, we wanted to lighten it up a little bit. We want to talk about fun stuff, but things that really affect everybody's family, which is the whole spending time together, vacationing. How do you do it? Yes, making those core memories. Like, how do we plan that stuff? What does it look like for our family? And what kind of some of the people around us, how it looks for them. So I'm excited about this one. I think it's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome. And you just want to open us with a short prayer before we go any further?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to pray or me?
I think you're evens and I'm odds.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Lord, we just come to you with a whole lot of gratitude. Lord, we just thank you for this day. Thank you for the breath in our lungs. Thank you for the opportunities that you put in front of us every single day. Lord, we just ask that you use our time and our words to just glorify you. Lord, let this fall on ears that are, expectant to hear from you, that love you, and just please just guide our words and our steps in every day. We want your light to shine through us. And we are very grateful for all of the blessings that you pour out on us. It's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so I think when you think family vacation, sometimes you might think Disney.
Yeah.
But that is not how it is for everybody. And this actually came up for me in a small group that I'm a part of. We were actually talking finance, and then we kind of ventured over into where do you draw the line? You don't want to overspend. You don't want to go places when you can't afford it. You don't want to do stuff that you can't afford. But I have the argument, even from my mama, mama money mama
mentality.
Yes, cheapskate mentality, that you still have to take the trip.
Yeah.
There's such a small window of time while the kids are small to make those experiences, to take those trips, to do that stuff, that you got to make it happen. You got to make it work. And even when you feel like, maybe we should save the money, this should be going toward something else. Like right now, I need a new water heater.
Oh.
But we went on a big camping trip last week.
To a nice place.
To a very nice place. Yes. And so, just kind of walking through some of that kind of stuff. But then also what do we do? We're big campers. I know you guys have a camper as well. And then, I like to know how other people do it. Do they take a big trip? Are they weekenders? But do they fly? Do they drive?
Yeah.
Are they campers? I love that kind of stuff.
I just think we're all so different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And your point of, and I know we've all heard this, I said it before we started recording as well, but you can make more money, but you can't always make more memories.
Yeah.
And so if you can, by all means, schedule the vacation, take the trip, make the memories with your family.
Yep. Yeah. And the whole like if you can, I feel like it's almost the same concept of like, they tell you don't wait to have kids till you can afford it because you can never afford
have kids.
it. Yeah. And like there is a lot of truth to that. There's parts of it where you're like, well, I mean, maybe we should be, we should definitely be responsible about these things. And, going on a vacation and things like that. We want to be responsible, but we also want to use this precious time with our families to the absolute max. So for us, like the word vacation to me is a bit touchy. Like I kind of shy away from that word.
Yeah.
Because 2 reasons. 1, vacation sounds expensive. But also, when we go on vacation, I still actually try to keep a little bit of a routine. I check email. If I have to make a phone call, I make a phone call. I don't usually like cut off all communication and all things, just because it tends to throw my whole life off if I do stuff like that. We go on trips.
Yeah, and I think that we have the advantage, and of course we've mentioned this before. It can be a vacation, but we are also just, maybe we're just going to work in another town for a couple days.
Yeah,
is what it can feel like. And then, of course, there's the funny aspect to it of, well, when I'm on vacation, I'm just struggling and disciplining my children in a different city.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because, I think we've all felt as parents for sure, when you come back from a vacation, you're like, man, I need a vacation from the vacation. Yep. Because you can overdo it and pack your schedule and your agenda and everything with too much. And I feel like kind of miss the mark of going and resting and making these memories. I do think there's a point where you can overdo it.
Oh, yeah.
And just have a full itinerary and kind of take away from the whole point of, resting, relaxing, resetting.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's your thing, then, by all means, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you do definitely have to kind of find the balance. And that is that way with money too. So like in our family, we like to camp a lot, and we're like weekenders, like we'll go, but we don't go far. We typically, most of the time, it might be 2 hours. We don't usually pull the camper more than like 2-3 hours max away from the house.
That's about the same for us as well.
Yeah. And I mean, but those trips are so precious to us because there's just something about being away from the house. You can't do your everyday typical chores. You can't do the laundry, the dishes. In a camper, you still have to do the dishes.
Sure.
Still have to cook. But it's still, you're away from the everyday. You're more intentionally spending time together. Nobody can go hole up in their room. Yeah. So those things have just become so, so precious to us. So like, if we get the opportunity to go on a camp trip, I book it.
We're going.
Period. Yeah. But I book it. But I try to be mindful about it while we're there. And this is really for any trip. I don't always book the trips I want to book because, if we have to fly there, if we have to, maybe if we're going to go, it's going to have to be a week kind of a thing. Well, those hotels and Airbnbs, things, those can be really expensive. How are you going to get around? Car rentals can be expensive. Mm-hmm. So the big trips, I do tend to kind of, do those sparingly. But those smaller ones where like we pull the house with us, we take them. But while we're there, we usually utilize the campground. We don't go a ton of places usually. Because I paid for the campground. So I feel like, use the pool, use the stuff that's there. Yep. They use we try to book places with water because the boys love the creek and the lake. I know your boys do too. Yep. If there's nowhere to fish, they're disappointed.
Absolutely.
They're like,
they might not even want to go.
Yes. We went to this beautiful campground over fall break. We were there for an extended stay. Absolutely gorgeous, top-notch amenities. And all the adults are like, oh my God.
Because it's nice. It is so nice.
Yes. All the kids are like, meh. They like there was live music at night, 2 restaurants,
A pool.
two pools, these massive gas fire pits that, 15 people can sit around. The views are just incredible. I mean, all this stuff. And the kids are still like, it's okay.
Because there's
Like,
nowhere to fish.
yes.
Yep.
They're like, there's no creeks here. And
That's what I said. There's a lot of concrete at that.
yes,
At that
there
campground.
definitely is. They're like, there's no creeks and there's no ponds. We can't fish. Like,
Can't really go explore.
yes, there's no place to kind of like go off and do their own thing. And so, the main point of this, I guess, is to say that they don't necessarily need all that other stuff. It's truly, I think that's how you can decide about should we take the trip or not. Is it going to be about just being together the time? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the heart of it.
The perfect less is more scenario.
Especially when you have littles. Like, they really don't, like, set that bar low, mamas and daddies.
Yeah.
Because they enjoy it. But if you give them, the $15,000 trip right out of the gate, it's going to be hard to keep going on that path.
Yeah. And I mentioned on one of the previous episodes that one of the gentlemen that I really enjoyed listening to his sermons, Mark Driscoll out of Arizona, he's a super big proponent of always have something fun on the calendar and something fun to look forward to.
Yep.
And I just love that concept. And because, yes, it does give us something to look forward to as a family, and something to plan for, whatever. Once we've completed the trip, vacation, whatever you want to call it, then it's back to the drawing board. It's time to plan for the next one.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of some of the fun in it. Also, is talking as a family and going, okay, well, what do we want to do next?
Right.
And we're so blessed. We live in a wonderful region to where, like, I just feel like our options are endless.
Oh, yeah,
we
definitely.
can go north or south. The beach is a reasonable distance. And my guys, they don't love the beach.
Oh, mine hate the beach.
Isn't that hilarious? They are not beach guys. They don't like the sand. They don't like being super hot.
Salt water, it affects my kids' skin. Like,
their
for mine, it
eyes.
heals it. For them,
Yeah.
they break out in these horrible rashes and stuff. It's
And
awful.
I'm like, hold on, you don't like the heat, but you'll fish on a boat for X number of hours.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nope, that one's null and void. But I believe my very favorite trip that we took was last summer when we went to Missouri.
Ooh, and see, that's no like
they're Missouri.
Yeah.
Like, we went to Big Cedar Lodge, which is Bass Pro's like all-encompassing resort.
So cool.
There's so many activities to do, and of course, I've got outdoor boys. You've got outdoor boys.
Yeah.
It's outdoor activities. It's stuff on the lake. It's games outside. It's competitions outside, archery, fishing. And not that these are not things that we can do right here, somewhat even in our own neighborhood, because we've got multiple ponds in here. They can go kayaking. They can do some of those things right here. But it was just the outdoor element of the resort that was so cool. We played, what is it? Shuffleboard. We played shuffleboard while overlooking Table Rock Lake. It was just
so cool.
It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
We played putt-putt that was on the resort grounds that had, like, their favorite hole was quite literally a giant bass that you putted through. My guys loved that. Restaurants were phenomenal, and they too now have a big outdoor amphitheater that it's beautiful. And all summer long, it's called and every season is themed at Big Cedar Lodge, and so it's always called Best Summer Ever. And you do have to register in advance, but you can pick like family activities to do those nights. And so, like, when we were there, one of the things that we did was a glow-in-the-dark scavenger hunt.
Oh, cool.
And we had to do it as a family. And you had to check off your list and go and find each item in order. And it was a competition of sorts, because if you finished first or second, you got some sort of prize. But it was just like, for me, like some of the core memories of just walking around with my kiddos with their glow sticks on and their checklist. And, Josh and I are just following behind, watching them kind of do their thing, put the clues together. Those are awesome to me.
Yeah.
And I know that they enjoyed it because I'm like, even since then, where are you guys thinking about going? Do we want to go to the beach? We want to go to the mountains? No, we want to go back to Big Cedar Lodge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I would totally go back. You guys would absolutely love it.
Yeah,
It
I think
is
that's
amazing.
a great idea. I actually grew up. We've done some like city tours in Missouri. St. Louis is one that we've done. Actually, me and Matt did like the bigger one when I think we were engaged. But we went and did because I have family there. So we went and saw family. We did all this downtown St. Louis stuff. And we did the arch and things like that. And I think there's like an age appropriation for that. Like when your kids do start to get a little bit older and, you can go and visit the museums and, the landmarks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is necessarily always necessary to kind of stay at, if you go to a lodge or something like that, to stay there and do all the things that they offer. That can be so cool.
It was so much fun.
And I feel like a lot of times too, like we'll book someplace and I really hate when we like miss out on the place that we booked. Even if it's an Airbnb, like,
oh yeah,
like you feel like, well, I spent all this money and I literally came here to sleep for 8 hours. We got up and left again. We did that last summer. We'd never been skiing or snowboarding, any of us. And we were not joking ourselves. Like I don't think this is going to be a thing for us.
Right.
My little one, we thought it might, so we wanted him to try it on like a tiny little thing. So we go up into Tennessee and we went to one of the parks where they like just blow snow everywhere,
Yeah.
It was cold. It was great. We actually had real snow then. We had a snow, or they did. So we got there. It was great. We only spent 2 nights, but we honestly spent a good chunk of time at our Airbnb. We did the hot tub. We like looked at the views. We cooked. We did a ton of that kind of stuff and used what we had already paid for. And then we did 1 day of like skiing stuff, which was expensive. But I'll tell you, I believe it saved me in the long run because my whole family was like, nah,
this is not for us.
Not for us.
And see, I want to go to Banff, Canada. Have you
I've
have
heard
you
of
been?
It. I've heard no.
Not been.
Mm-mm.
It's like the Canadian Rockies. It is gorgeous.
I've heard really
I
great
want to
things.
go so badly. And so that may be something that we look back into. But to kind of shift back for just a second, that was mine, Josh's, and Maddox's second trip to Big Cedar Lodge.
Oh.
Because the first time that we went, it was a weekend thing. And that's a long weekend trip. But we flew out and back.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time that Maddox ever flew. And it was when I learned that Garth Brooks was going to be the opening show at that outdoor amphitheater.
Cool.
And if you don't know, I love Garth Brooks. And so I was like, he's the opening show. I want to go so badly.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did. And the cool thing about them is they have hotels, they have cabins, and then we stayed in, I guess technically it would have been considered a cabin, but it was awesome. It was right on the lake, but it was tiny.
Yeah.
But it was just so cool. And so I didn't realize it, but when we went out there, we stayed, I want to say Friday night, Saturday night, flew back on Sunday. Friday night, he was performing all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon was his concert schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday night, Maddox and I went down to, there was like a little, I guess it was like a sand volleyball area that was in front of our cabin, but it also had like, I think it was bocce ball in the sand. So we started, we set that up and we're going to play and realized that just around the corner and across like the cove of the lake was where the amphitheater was. So the music from the concert we could hear crystal clear over the lake playing this game together.
How?
And I was like, we're going to listen to Garth Brooks twice.
How cool.
One inside the stadium and one here. And so it was so cool because we were singing along and we were playing at the edge of the water. It was beautiful. It's one of my very favorite, I might even say favorite, but core memories of just Maddox and I.
Yeah.
And so I've asked him often, what's one of your favorite things that you and I have ever gone and done? Like just the two of us. And it makes the list.
Yeah.
And he's like, that time that we were listening to Garth Brooks in Missouri, like not when we went into the concert, but the day before. And I'm like, yep, that's one of my very favorite ones.
And those kind of things, like you got lucky with the concert and stuff like that. Like you got to hear it, but there are so many of those little memories that that tend to make it to the core list that were essentially pretty free. Like,
yes,
but you were there, you're doing it, you're being intentional about spending your time. And I think that's what's so important about like family trips and vacations, because you really have to be intentional and plan it and, budget it and do all these things to spend that time with your family and your kids. And I love that. My kids had the same kind of experience at this last campground that we went to. They were kind of over it. It was an extended stay and they were kind of over it. And so, but one night their pools are heated. Okay. So it's October, but they still could swim. It had been hot. So swimming during the day was no issue for them. For me, I'm like, oh, that's still not warm enough.
Yeah.
But for the kids, they're like.
September rolls around, I'm like, I'm done being in the pool.
Yeah, no. I barely get in the summer. I'll sit by it, but this time I don't.
It's got to be heated.
So anyway, so it was chilly this one particular night, but the pools are heated. So they dip their toes in. The pool's got 30 minutes left to be open. And they're like, it's warm enough. They're like, please, oh, please. The whole crowd of boys wants to swim. I'm like, you got 5 minutes to get suits on. Let's go.
Yeah.
They had a blast.
Yep.
I mean, it was the core memory for them. Like, and when we asked them on the way home, what was your favorite time of this trip? I mean, we'd done a ton of stuff. We'd even gone out. We were in LJ, so, it's apple season. So there's apple stuff everywhere. The leaves were turning. Beautiful weather. Been there since Wednesday. Their favorite memory or favorite thing they did was spend 30 minutes in the same pool they'd been in all week long. That night.
Night swimming?
Yes, night swimming. They had 30 minutes. They had to like eke out that fun,
Yep.
And that was the thing. It was just so simple.
And we did that there as well. One night, I don't know how it happened, but we ended up being the only family at the pool.
Yeah, we were the only ones there almost the whole time.
And so they loved it. And I'm almost positive that I could ask Holt even like, what's one of your favorite memories, something that we've ever done together? And he would say something as simple as, he loves when we throughout the summer, I'll charge up the laser tag stuff and then we'll go play through the yard and whatnot. Either that or playing laser tag as a family, or when we go out and shoot our gel blasters in the backyard or something like. But it's something that is so simple.
Yes, rocket copters for my kids.
Rocket copters.
They have a little shooter. It's a little LED light with little wings, plastic wings, and you shoot it up in the air and it goes pew, and it comes down.
They love it.
I mean, it is. Yes, we started using those when, Abel was probably like 4 or 5. We had him at a campground. It attracted a crowd. It's one of those things. The box of them was like $20. And that's been like that's what they love to do. Yeah.
Rocket copters.
Yep.
So and even more so the laser tag. Anytime we go somewhere, a city, a venue that has it or something, it's like that's kind of our thing. Like as a family, we're playing laser tag.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll play 2 or 3 times in a row, but that's just like when we go anywhere and it's literally on the table as something to add to your
package or whatever. Yeah,
whatever. Then we throw it in there, and it's Josh's parents will play too.
Oh, I love it.
So that makes it fun because Nanny is either the prime target or she's the teammate.
Yeah.
But most of the time, the boys gang up and let's take out Nanny. I don't know what the thrill in that is.
I
I'm
love
like,
it though.
be
It's
more accomplished if you could take out your dad.
yeah.
He's the
Yeah, they're like he's too hard.
yeah.
Yeah, that it is so cool. And I think there has to be a balance between, you know, you do want to let them have those cool, fun experiences. And, laser tag costs money. And
Yeah.
that's just going to be, that's just one of those things. There's going to be some things that you say yes to. There's going to be a whole lot that you say no to. I highly recommend all the souvenir junky stuff. Like, I always say no to that because
Pass
I'm
on
like,
that. Yeah.
I got tons of pictures. I will put you a book together. I've even done that before. We've done books of like a trip or just like the whole yearbook and include pictures, family pictures from the trips that year. And they love those things. They don't think that's what they want when we're there. They want all this stuff.
Yeah.
But when I give them the books, they're like, oh, cool. They'll flip through. And so I think that kind of stuff, it is super hard to continue throughout the day to say, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. But it in the long run, it helps you stay on budget and you get to do some of that stuff, you
Yeah.
know? So like I wanted to kind of address too, like I had a friend who just got back from Acadia National Park. And I know like lots of people, like that's kind of their thing. They want to hit up national parks. That's one of mine. I would love to do
National
parks.
Yes.
I love the state parks, but honestly, I've been to a ton of them.
Yeah.
We like staying at them. We like visiting them. If they're close by, we try to hit them up. If we pass by one, we'll kind of
Stop,
swing it.
pull
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
We actually, the state parks and national parks, if you don't know, they have a passport book.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of check things off and know where you've been and where you haven't and stuff like that. We have those books. So those are my favorite things. And they are very low cost.
Yeah.
Super low cost. But you get to see cool stuff. There's even just in our state and bordering states, there's so many different landscapes and like all these different experiences that you can do at the state parks and stuff. Some of them have lodges. Like
Yeah.
they're pretty equipped and a really low cost option. So I love that kind of stuff. And I have the camping big trip yearly kind of a thing. And then of course we both did the experience for the kids not too long ago for the a concert, which you guys have done
Yes.
lots of concerts. That was my kid's first big concert. And that again, I think probably more for me was like more of a core memory, knowing that their first concert was Brandon Lake.
Yeah.
But my my husband's boss was like, you guys have messed up. And Matt's like, why?
Set the bar really high.
He was like, it's one of the best concerts I've ever been to. So the fact that you took your kids to that concert for their first concert, you're
Yeah.
never going to be able to
Live up to it.
But I do love that did cost some money. But I think you just have to find the balance, but don't not go.
Yeah.
Don't not do it.
Don't not go. And if it is, if it is a serious hurdle and something that you can't do it, you can't swing it, the budget is too tight. The same exact gentleman that I've referenced about always having fun on the calendar, his take on it is, if you can't go and do something like that, then be the fun house. Be the place where your kids can come.
Yeah.
Your kids, your friends, whatever. Maybe you can't swing going on the trip, but you can afford to, whatever it is, put in the fire pit.
Oh, yeah.
So that you can have your friends, your family over for Friday nights, roast some s'mores, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just make it a place where you still come and gather. And then he has a plan to where, and of course, he has more resources. But the plan is as his grandkids get older, he's going to like reshape, reformat, like even what their outdoor area looks like at their own home. He's like, right now my grandkids are little, so it's like it's turfed and it's playground equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But as they get older, I want them to be able to play airsoft in the backyard
Right.
or whatever, and just kind of grow with them so that our place is where they want to come to.
Yeah.
And so I think too, like, yeah, I love going and making memories with my kids and my husband and new towns and doing new things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't swing it, then if you still have the fun place to be,
Yeah.
then you can still make your memories.
Yeah.
I think that's really the important part.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I love being the house that, the kids want to be at or whatever.
The fun house.
So like some of the trips that we have taken, just to kind of like go through a list, with the kids, we do a lot of camping. I love those. Those are my top trips. We do an Orlando trip every year. We didn't specifically choose that place ourselves, but we have a family member who has got a timeshare there, and so we are very blessed to get to use that, and we use it every other year. So it's not a huge trip we take every year.
Is it a summer trip?
No.
Varies.
Well, we've always done it in the fall because Orlando is so busy in the summer.
Hot.
We do not do Disney. We said that's something we're not going to do. And so we have taken that off of the table, but we do this year we've done like Universal. We're going to do the new park Epic, just to do like a few of the things that we know we want to do that are there. And then this year we want to do like the springs of, like the manatee experiences the hot springs and the landscape stuff of that is close and right outside of Orlando. So I'm excited about that. You said one of your favorites was Missouri. I'm not a cruise person. Matt, there's a radio station doing some cruise stuff right now. Like you can win a cruise. And he's like, the answer, call in. I'm like,
You don't want to go on one?
I've been on one. I will never.
Not again?
Ever again.
We've only been on one as well. I'm not saying I would not go again. But it was good.
COVID absolutely ruined it I was sick on the cruise anyways. We did an Alaskan cruise, which is really cool. It was a cool way to hit a lot of places, but on a cruise, in my opinion, you're really just hitting places they've set up for tourists anyways. So I didn't really feel like it was an authentic trip, but it was cool because that one, you go into like this sounds and different stuff like that and we saw the ice and the glaciers, which are no longer there. So how that trip goes now, I don't know. But the trip itself was amazing because I'd never experienced anything like that. But when they told those people they could not get off that boat when COVID hit, and they were on there for 2 weeks in those little port rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I will never.
Nope.
Never again. I'm never doing that.
First and last.
Yeah. So that's not a thing that we do, but I know a lot of people do river cruises and regular cruises that, that's kind of what some families do in general. We've done Key West. I recommend if you have not been, don't bother going. There's not much there, especially for children. It's not family friendly. Not.
I remember you telling me like what a letdown Key West.
Oh my gosh. It was we're so excited. We're like, this is our anniversary. We're going to hop on a plane. By the way, Allegiant, if you look up Allegiant, there are very affordable flights. You take nothing. You cannot take anything. You pay for that if you do it. But, they are very affordable flights if you can schedule it that way and things like that. So that's like a travel pro tip. And there's some apps you can use too that give you pop-up deals and stuff. Going is one of them.
Okay.
But anyway, so yes, we were so thrilled. We thought, this is going to be great. We hop on the plane. We get to Key West. We look around. We're like, uh-oh. Yeah.
Thumbs down.
Come back. We want to get back on the plane.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you were just like totally bummed about
there's not even beaches there. It's an island peninsula and you can't get on the beach. It was very weird. Very weird place.
Yeah, I don't really think it was on my list, but if it was, I have like virtually scratched it off.
Yeah, don't bother. Don't bother. There now, if you go further up in the Keys, I've heard there are specific places to hit that are beautiful and tropical and wonderful. Just take Key West off. Just don't go. You don't have to go that far down. You're not missing anything.
You might have saved somebody, a couple $100.
Hey, I mean, and this is not just my feedback. I've heard there are several people I talked to were like, when I got back, they were like, oh yeah, you told me you were going there. I was like, what?
Why didn't anybody tell me beforehand?
Why did you not? They're like, well, we were excited for you. We thought you might like it. I'm like,
I don't want to go to the island with the Home Depot.
Yes, it does. It has a Home Depot on it. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So if somebody was going to say, okay, where should we go with our family? What are some of your top things?
We love, I mean, we're big Pigeon Forge people, and of course,
Okay,
I
yeah.
think geographically, it's because that's a fairly close trip for us to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's just so much to do.
Yeah.
For all age ranges. But honestly, my top recommendation would be going to Big Cedar Lodge in
Cool.
Missouri. It's phenomenal.
We've done Wolf Creek Lodge too, which is
I
another.
have
That's a
not done that
Tennessee
one.
place. That one was cool.
I'm sorry, we have done. Is it?
You might have done the one in LaGrange. There's one in Georgia, one in Tennessee that's really close to us.
We went to the one in. Is it Charlotte?
Oh, maybe.
Concord, I think technically
Yeah.
is the.
Those are
It
neat
is-
too
it
because
is a
they're
wolf.
all inclusive.
Yeah.
You pay a little bit for them, but you don't have to leave the lot. We never left, even though we're right in the middle of Gatlinburg.
Wilderness
or
at the Smokies was what I was thinking of. I have not been
what
to
did
that
I
one.
say? That's what I meant.
Wilderness in the Smokies. Great Wolf Lodge. That's the.
Oh, so that's the one in LaGrange.
Yeah.
Their sister company or
Yes.
sister resorts or whatever. Yes, we've done Wilderness in the Smokies.
Okay, that's the one that we haven't done, but it was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I would definitely take the boys to something like that.
Yeah.
I think when we went to the one in Charlotte, it was kind of a bummer. It was, and I think it was just one of the original ones, so
Yeah.
there was not that much to it.
Mm-hmm.
We were in there for about 2 hours, and they were like, "Okay, we've done everything."
See, we did the water park stuff, and we only had access to the one inside because it was cold. But they loved it. But I think as kind of the age range kind of maxes out about probably from between 10 and 12 there, as far as like not having to leave the property.
Yeah,
You can get away with that for the littles. I think
that makes sense.
Do
you have a second one? Anything else that comes to
no,
mind?
especially with family. I love the Orlando trips, but those one of those that I really really try to be frugal because it's costly anyway.
Yeah.
I think for adults like Savannah is a great one. That one's not too far from us. That is, it's not too far to go, but there's still lots to see. It's historic. It's beautiful. There's water. There's lots of different things that you can experience there. We're close to Charleston. I've done Charleston several times. Honestly, I think Savannah is
Better?
I like Savannah over Charleston.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I do.
I think the next big bucket list item, I guess, for us is we do want to go to like the Jackson Hole
Okay.
area.
Yes.
That's real high up on the list. We were actually going to try to go earlier this year, but my father-in-law had a procedure on his back, and he was like, "I'm not going to be able to travel." And they want to see it too, so I don't want to go without him.
See, my ultimate dream is a U.S. trip, like a 2-year around the U.S. in an RV. Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That with my kids. So I don't know if it's actually going to happen because my kids are getting older, but that's my ultimate dream is to go. And I'm a national park girl. Like I want to see all of them. So those places in particular, I actually sit at a table at one of our groups with a lady. She's from Utah, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" She was like, "What do you think Utah is?" I was like, "Beautiful." She was like, "Where?"
Everywhere.
I was like, she's like, "Whatever you're thinking of is not all over Utah." Like she was very unimpressed. And I'm thinking of the wave and the national park.
The salt flats.
Yeah. And she's like totally like, so I think I'm a bit naive about these things. But at the same time, like I want to see the national parks, and that's my ultimate dream.
Well, I've even said,
RV.
I really want to go see the Pacific Northwest. I would love to go visit up there. I'm afraid I'm going to love it so much that I would not want to come back to Habersham County.
Like name like a place that you.
Oregon.
Oh, yes.
I would love to go see Oregon.
Yeah.
Washington State.
Yeah.
But the Jackson Hole and, going out there is real high up on my in-laws' bucket list and ours as well. So that's going to be a dual trip. But then the other one beyond that is my mother-in-law wants to go up to like Maine.
Yeah.
So badly, and just kind of do like a a New England region trip.
My mom just did this trip.
And she's allergic to shellfish, so
Oh,
it's like you
dear.
don't even get to utilize,
Yeah.
the whole benefits of the trip, because some of the seafood's got to be part of, the best part of the trip, but she cannot participate in that.
My mom has traveled the world at this point, and that like I feel like talking to her while she was there was one of her favorite things.
Really?
Like she just genuinely seemed like she loved it. She loved the history. They went several places. They even got to hit up Salem in October.
Oh, I bet that was wild.
Yeah, I mean, she was like, it was just, I just felt like she really loved it. Tons of lighthouses, beautiful, landscape. They did do, of course, they're not traveling with kids and everything. So they do the restaurants and all of the, the big seafoods and all that stuff. But she was like, it was incredible.
Producer Daniel went up there on I think it was a Wreaths Across America
Oh,
tour.
really?
And
Oh, how
he has said
cool.
that it was really pretty, but that's like one of her items that she wants to check off. And I do think that it would be neat. Of course, I'm like, I'll totally go if it's during baseball season so that we can go see a Red Sox game and go to Boston. But beyond that, I would love to see Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my thing, I don't even know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I want to go to Banff, Canada.
Yeah.
That's
that's kind of an Instagram thing too right now, I feel like. I've seen Banff in my feed a lot. Yeah, I don't know what
Well, now that I've said it, you'll see it even more.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's been in my feed a lot. It's kind of, and actually, I'm pretty sure Going just sent through a deal a few days ago, an airline ticket deal. The thing with those apps, you have to book it right then.
Yeah.
So you have to be watching the places that you want to go, and you have to be flexible because typically you're going to get that rate on a Wednesday and you can't come back. There's not even an option to come back until the following Wednesday.
Oh.
So it's very specific, but if you have the flexibility and you have the ability to say, sure, whatever.
Let's go.
Those apps they can be really well utilized. You just have to have the flexibility. So
I've never been a check the flight schedule, pack a bag and go kind of.
Well, and that was how we did Key West. We spent $55 a ticket.
Yeah, but didn't Abel find Key West?
Well, yeah, but we had been watching Key West.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought he found it
He did. We were sitting in the sanctuary. Yeah, I told that story. We were sitting in the sanctuary. He's like, just pick Key West, because we'd been watching some other places, and so he picked it, booked the ticket, and we were out of there.
See ya.
Yeah, but yeah, there are some really cool things. Allegiant is one of my favorite travel pro tips.
Allegiant, okay.
If you do well with credit card points, that's not something I utilize because I just am not very good at it. I'd rather take the balance off of my card than put it toward my travel points. But I know a lot of people travel very inexpensively with points from Amex or whatever. But all right, well, cool. Well, I love talking about this kind of stuff because I feel like every time I talk about it, I get like another cool idea from a mom who's like, oh, this was our favorite trip. So I encourage you, to have those conversations with other families because you always get some really cool ideas and places to go. So hers is Big Cedar Lodge. I will have to report back in 2026 about the Orlando experience that did not include the big parks.
Well, I think we're going to go again next year on beach retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of staying at the beach for an additional week or so, because the boys just did not love that, I think we're actually going to go to Orlando.
Oh, cool.
Because I know this is going to totally catch you off guard. There is a week-long fishing expo in Orlando that is huge. It's called iCast.
Oh.
And so, Josh was looking it up and he said, hey, after beach retreat, why don't we just go to Orlando so that we can go to the iCast seminar? And I was like, I'm fine with it because there is plenty to do in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Without having to go to and I do love the beach, but I'll forego the beach trip to just go and spend the additional time in Orlando
Yeah.
because we'll have plenty of things to do and choose from.
And see, this is kind of one of my like pro tips for families that don't love the beach, but like mama likes to sit on the beach for a couple days kind of a thing. Like that's me. I don't really even get in the water, but I want to sit on the beach and get like darken up my skin.
Yeah, I want to get tan.
I dip in the water because I've got all these weird eczema things on me from the winter. One day in the ocean and I'm cleared up, sister. So like I love to take that one like weekend or whatever for the beach. So what I like to, my kind of thing is like the Carolinas, or I've even heard like Alabama, like some of those that you don't have to go all the way down into Florida. They're not as packed and, you know, as popular or whatever. My mom lives close to Charleston, so she lives right there. So we get to kind of pop into the beach, but we don't have to take a big beach
vacation.
Trip. Yeah. So, and again, like Savannah is like one of those where you can go over to Tybee. You can hit the beach, but there's so many other things that you get to experience without having to do a big beach trip.
Yeah. And in non-tourist towns,
yeah,
would just be my personal preference.
Yeah.
You know, Destin and Panama and all that, you know, they're great, but it's just like, I would rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go somewhere small. And
want to know the first year we went to Florida and we took the boys, the bikinis without much of a rear end were still very popular. I guess they still kind of are, but I feel like they've expanded the butt a little. This was when we were
walking wedgie.
Yes. Yeah. The boys were like, Mom, like they're like little, you know, so they're right at butt height. And they were like, that's one of the biggest things I remember about the first time we went to Orlando, because we went to a water park and they were like, they were so disturbed. And it cracked me and Matt up. And of course, you know, like I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm sure he didn't enjoy it.
Right.
But Matt's like having to wear sunglasses the entire time.
Yeah.
Because he's like, they're young girls, you know?
You know what's so funny is that if Holt sees something like that, he gets so embarrassed. And especially if you catch him peeking or something, you'd be like, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing.
Yes, like right at that age, like that, you know, like for the boys, like it's still there. It's not like super attractive. It's just weird.
Yeah,
like they like it kind of, but they kind of don't.
Yeah, Holt kind of does not at all. He's just like,
it's the thing. Like you don't want to look at it so much, but you have to. Like that's how they felt, and it was all three of my poor guys were like, okay, this might not have been.
maybe wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, poor dads. They're like, you know, they're dads, but they're still men. Like, you know, like
you got to lead by example, and then that just makes it tough. And it's just
my grandpa came to the hotel one night, and Matt put his sunglasses down over his face because he was like, listen, we just have to, you know, like. It was just one of those things where it's so awkward for everyone.
Yeah.
Not just, you know, like nobody's doing anything wrong, but everything's in front of your face. Like, yeah, it's
cover it up
very
and move
comical.
on.
Very comical. All right, you guys. I just encourage you to have these conversations because they are so fun. It's so nice to know and get tips from other people, what they do, how do they save money, but take the trip. Take the trip.
Take the trip. And when you're there, be present. You know, you don't have to be perfect, but be present.
Yeah.
Because you might be making core memories for your kids, thinking that you're really not doing much of anything. But yet these, you know, they're storing them away, and these are things that they're going to look back on, you know, maybe for forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, if you can't like take the big trip, that's okay. Put your tent in the backyard.
Yes.
I remember that when I was a kid.
Oh,
My mom, we put a tent in the backyard. We only did it once, but we did it.
I think that's about as many times as we did it.
Yep. So yeah, there's a state park with a $10 tent spot with your name on it.
That's right.
So yeah,
check it out.
Take the trip, do it, you know, have the conversations. It's fun. You always learn something. So, and we love you guys. We appreciate you being here and listening to us, watching us. We hope that these are fun and helpful, and you guys know that we cannot do this at all without our amazing producer, Stay Stoked Creative Co. You can find more about him in the show notes, and don't forget, I write a newsletter, Wealthy Kids Academy, where we teach families how to create a healthy, wealthy financial foundation. Almost nailed it, but I didn't. So, but you can find out more about that in the show notes as well. And this concludes episode 30.
Number 30. P.S. Steph Curry is the one that wears number 30.
Oh, nice. All right.
So just to throw that one in there, which means you know what's next. Do you even know who wore 31?
No.
Amanda.
What?
It's Greg Maddox.
I know not of these things, Laura. No, not
Greg
of these things.
Maddox. So you already know who I'm going to reference next week.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye.